Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter if you'd like to participate in the show today. Hope you had a great Mother's Day weekend. We're starting off with a brand new Pat Gray bingo card. And that should be pinned to the top of our Twitter page. And is.
At Pat Unleashed.
Okay.
And what do they do if they get bingo after listening to the show?
You call us at 888-900-3393. And you say, bingo!
Yeah. Give some energy behind it, please.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
And then we set you up with a $35 like certificate code sort of thing. And that'll be good for $35 worth of merchandise at
PatHeadShop.com.
It's just that easy.
That easy.
And our card this week is starts out in the upper left-hand corner. Explain to Judy. Maybe a somewhat old reference. Obscure to some who maybe weren't there that day.
Yeah, but if they hear us mention a random Judy, they'll know, oh, it's time to color that square.
Judy is a person who called the show and was very upset because she didn't understand the fact that we were being sarcastic at some point. I don't even remember what the issue was.
I don't know. I think Glenn had said something about the Obama administration and how they were right or so. I don't even remember, but it was...
Yeah, I don't know either, but it was...
Clearly.
We were clearly joking about something and she took it completely serious.
Like, we were playing Alex Jones clips or something. CIA, like we're in the CIA maybe.
It might have been that. It might have been that.
Judy.
Anyway... Judy wasn't really hip to what was going on.
No.
So we have to explain things to Judy. Did that for about 3 weeks, probably.
Oh, at least,
At least. Maybe 6 months. Unmitigated Gulls, the next square. And then we've got the Angel Choir. Sounds a little something like this. Is that nice?
That is lovely.
Heartbreak of Psoriasis next. Then, of course, we've got Joe Biden with, and I have it here somewhere.
Increasing exponentially. Top 1% and 2% have done exponentially better. Corporate profit has been up over exponentially.
Exponentially.
Up exponentially.
Right.
It's going to be up exponentially.
It's hard to believe that nobody tells him, Joe, it's exponential. Exponentially. Okay? Not dent. It's not a dental product. It's not about denture wear. It's not exponentially. It's exponentially. But they don't correct him on anything. So I guess they just let him keep going.
That's good stuff.
Keith mentions Pat Heads.
Hey, Pat Heads. Hello, everyone.
Reverend Al, the Reverend Al Sharpton with this gem.
So in the words of my late friend Aretha Franklin, show some RESPICT.
Hard to believe, but there it is. There it is. Bumper sticker on Pat's car. That's an old reference, too. We haven't done that in a while. Bat crap crazy. That could happen at any moment. And then, whoa, Nelly.
Yeah,
Keith Jackson thing there.
They've been waiting for that one this morning.
Clippity clop of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it sounds a little something like that. We're riding through town.
Kind of a stampede at this point.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I do. Jeffy, think about it. When we talk about the Clinton kill list, Keith mentions a new injury about 9 times a day.
Yeah, this doesn't count, but yeah, I had one this weekend.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
We'll get to it later.
That does not count.
Yeah, we'll get to it later, maybe.
Yeah. All right. This from Joe Biden.
The Villages, America's friendliest hometown. The Villages, America's friendliest hometown. The Villages.
Wow, from the Villages to the White House. Joe Biden.
Then there's beginning with the next line. I'm just saying. Then we've got je ne sais quoi. A certain je ne sais quoi, if you will. Hating hate monger who mongers in hate. Then we got the scam call from a while ago.
like
and
this.
once it get expired after that, you will be taken under custody by the local police, as there are 4 serious allegations pressed on your name at this moment.
4 serious allegations, and just the allegations pressed on your name we're looking for there.
If
Allegations pressed on your name.
if Jeffy gets that call, he goes, "Oh, it's just a 4 on this one. Oh, I don't care. I thought this was a big deal."
And then we got Jeffy. Have a nice day. The quack thing. Good golly. Hillary.
Ugh.
And difference. Oh my! Is it? Do I not have that?
Uh-oh.
Surely I have that. Is it Clinton? Maybe it's under Clinton.
So we're looking for her talking about Benghazi when she says,
Yeah. What difference does it make?
This point does it make?
Yeah.
If some guys were out for a walk and
"Boy,
And then I can't find it. So
Yeah, we'll find
Hillary. Wait a minute. Let me just try this.
What difference at this point does it make?
Okay. So there you go.
yeah, get her off. Get her off of the."
Asking for a friend, and we rounded out with Volkswagen or Buick in utero. Mm-hmm. So yeah, because you never know what's in the womb.
Yeah,
could be a Volkswagen, could be a Buick, it could be a head of lettuce.
But remember, if it's a head of lettuce or broccoli stalk, right? Those don't count. It has to be a mention of a Volkswagen or a Buick in utero.
All right, can't be broccoli, can't be anything else. A spoon. It's got to be like a Buick or a Volkswagen. All right. Well, good. There we go. So this little belated Mother's Day tweet from Pathead Christie. Got this.
Her son
from
came
her
home.
son.
Yeah. It's like, fill out all this stuff. What makes your mom great and all this good stuff.
Because they did a cute little Mother's Day
thing, right, Pat?
How old is he? Can't be very old, right? Because they're not doing this in at high school, I hope.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
What's
these days,
your favorite
standards.
thing about your mom?
Public schools, who knows? This could be a senior in high school for all we know. Writing this thing out about, what's your mom,
So it's all these questions,
Yeah, what's
if
the
you
best
could
thing about
change
your
one
mom?
thing about your mom, what would it be?
Oh my gosh, what did he put? I didn't see that one.
Nothing. You would change nothing. Isn't that
okay.
cute? That's nice.
All right. And so Christy points out toward the bottom there,
Yeah.
what's the craziest thing?
Craziest thing you've ever seen your mom do?
Oh no, what do you write?
Not wear a mask.
Oh no!
In all caps.
All caps!
Yeah.
Yeah, she did follow up and say that she would be having a conversation with her son and that he will not be brainwashed by the public schools.
I think he already has been. Now you got to de-brainwash him.
That's the road
So-
already been traveled down.
Yeah.
Christy?
It's amazing what they can do at school in a short amount of time.
And Joe Biden wants several more years from your kids, too.
We were discussing over Mother's Day dinner, having a nice little, because it was beautiful yesterday. And so we were eating outside, sitting around the table outside, and got to talking about, I forget how it came up, but something about global warming. And my wife asked, how do people become so... Oh, I know what it was. We were talking about Elon Musk. And I was saying that, I don't know why people don't like him on the left, because he is Mr. Global Warming. He's so convinced that global warming is catastrophic that he built a company so that we could fly spaceships to Mars and colonize it. He wants to get us off this planet, or at least we'd be a multi-planet species. That's what his goal is. And she was like, well, if he's so smart, how is he so indoctrinated? I said, how is our own daughter so indoctrinated on this issue?
Wait, was she at the table?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
Of course she was.
Oh no.
And so she laughed and she said, you guys are the ones that sent me to BYU. Like, oh, yeah. Well, we did. And congratulations. That's what she learned there. In addition to some other things that we had to deprogram her with. But it's just not there's no conservative schools anymore, or very few.
Hillsdale.
I mean, Hillsdale, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
And then the list is done.
And then the list is done. I mean, I'm sure BYU is still mostly conservative, but it's not all. I mean, they've got professors there who are indoctrinating them on global warming. And he told told the class it's just fact. And I'm not trying to spin.
No,
this
stop
is just fact.
Fact.
Oh, jeez. It is agonizing.
I mean, I'm wearing a North Texas shirt today. I mean, you're talking about, it's just ironic. I mean, that's the school that right along Interstate 35 there in Denton, they've got the huge windmills, man. They got the turbines out there. Look at us. We're green energy school. Oh,
jeez.
It's definitely taken root.
Yeah, it definitely has.
It's now it's counterculture. To even question it, to even ask questions, you are just ridiculous. From the same, that's what you're called, from the same party, the same side of the political spectrum that constantly says, have an open mind, diversity of thought, all ideas. Bull crap, shut up.
Yeah, inclusiveness. Sure. Yeah, as long as you believe exactly as we do, we'll include you. That's not a problem. It's pathetic.
Yes, it is. Hold your kids close, man.
So,
don't let your lifetime of bringing them up right be undone in a matter of semesters. And you're paying for it too, which is even more grotesque.
Yeah, I love that part.
Sorry.
I love that part. So
that's fun.
Yeah, so we're getting all this indoctrination, and a lot of it's coming right from Anthony Fauci. He passes it on, and then they teach it in schools, and I mean, he just really kind of sets the stage for this. Over the weekend, he was on This Week, which I think is that ABC's?
Yes.
And here's what he had to say about, okay, when are things going to get kind of back to normal?
Like, what's it going to be like next Mother's Day?
Right.
Give everyone a sense of what the country is going to look like next Mother's Day.
Well, George, I hope that next Mother's Day we're going to see a dramatic difference than what we're seeing right now. I believe that we will be about as close to back to normal as we can. And there's some conditions to that, George.
Oh, are there?
We've got to make sure that we get the overwhelming proportion of the population vaccinated. When that happens, the virus doesn't really have any place to go. There aren't a lot of vulnerable people around. And where there are not a lot of vulnerable people around, you're not going to see a surge. You're not going to see the kinds of numbers we see now.
Okay, but you got to get vaccinated.
Yeah, now we're moving the goalposts, baby.
You got. We'll be mostly back to normal, maybe, but you got to get vaccinated, obviously, and you got to wear your mask, and you have to social distance. It's amazing to me that months ago they said, okay, the 6 feet rule, that just doesn't apply. It's more like 3 feet, and even then, it's not foolproof, but you're probably not going to get it. They're still on the 6 feet rule. I haven't seen anybody change it to 3.
Exactly, because it costs too much to reprint the stickers. It's science. Seriously, that's what it comes down to at these stores, especially.
Yeah.
But it's gone from stay socially distant to be locked down, 15 days, flatten the curve, to now we need herd immunity, but you've been separated, so I don't know how you get that, to now it's time for a vaccine if you want your society back.
Yeah.
They're always changing.
Yeah.
The rules.
And none of the other things went away once we got the vaccine either.
Correct.
You still have to follow the same rules.
Piling them on, adding them on. Yep.
So then Dr. Fauci laughed about being outdoors, wearing a mask outdoors.
Yeah.
The guidance from the CDC.
Right. Savannah Guthrie.
Good gosh.
She is begging this man to give her permission to live her life. We have clip after clip after clip where she's talking about her kids at the bus stop and running up to me and wearing a mask, and she has Fauci on, and she's constantly saying, when do my kids get to live their life again? I don't know, whenever their mom says they can. But no, she has this clown on, and listen to this guy. Oh, gosh.
And let me stay on the subject of kids, because summer camps are coming up, and a lot of parents are looking forward to sending those kids out and hoping they have a great summer since they weren't able to last summer. But the CDC guidelines right now for kids in summer camp say masks must be worn at all times, even outdoors, by everyone, including vaccinated adults and children as young as 2 years old, and campers should stay 3 feet apart, even outdoors. My question to you is, given what research shows about transmission outside, about the low risk of serious illness in children, are these CDC guidelines excessive?
I wouldn't call them excessive, Savannah, but they certainly are conservative. and I think what you're going to start to see is really in real time, continually reevaluating that for its practicality.
Because you're right. People look at that and they say, well, is
Why
that
go?
being a little bit too far right now?
Yeah, because aren't we supposed to be? We've been told, people have been preaching for a year, follow the science. The science doesn't suggest those CDC guidelines are too
Thank
sensible.
you. Finally,
for little kids outside in 90-degree heat running around with masks.
Right.
Yes, Amanda, you've asked me that question a couple of times before.
I'm asking for two kids named Vale and Charlie, age 6 and 4.
Yeah, well, you're right. The CDC makes decisions based on science. They will continually reevaluate that. You're right. It looks a bit strict, a bit stringent, but that's the reason why they keep looking at that and trying to, reevaluate on literally in real time whether or not that's the practical way to go.
I see. Okay.
Why isn't Savannah Guthrie the leading scientist on this, quite frankly? I mean, she's got more common sense than that clown does. I'm telling you, 6 months ago, we sat here. I'm telling you, there is a whiteboard in the basement of the CDC, and it's a timeline, and it says when they're going to relax this, when they're going to allow that, when so on and so on. They're just, it's a game. That's all this is. It's a timetable already set up because they don't want to let go of this power that they've been granted. Pace yourself. It's only Monday.
Right, exactly. All right, let me tell you about how to solve some pain issues. If you've got pain that's brought on by inflammation, Omega XL is absolutely the way to go. Whether you've got pain in your shoulder, your elbow, as I did, your knees, this can really remove the inflammation, which then the pain goes away. This is backed by 35 years of clinical research. It attacks the inflammation that causes your pain. It's just that simple. They get these omega fatty acids from the pristine waters around New Zealand and put them in tiny little gel caps that are super easy to take. And then it just works. It really does. It's not a drug that you're going to get addicted to. It's all natural. And to get you started on this adventure, to get you out of pain, when you order your first bottle of Omega XL, you'll get a second bottle free. Go to omegaxl.com/Pat. omegaxl.com/Pat or call 800-844-4888.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Great to have you with us. I love this story about this former Chattanooga offensive line coach, Chris Malone, suing his former employer because he claims he was wrongly forced to resign for a tweet that had nothing to do with the school. And I'm just so tired of this kind of stuff happening. Here's here's what the coach tweeted.
Oh, no. What?
Congratulations to the state, Georgia, and Fat Albert, Stacey Abrams, because you have truly shown America their true works of cheating in an election. Again, enjoy the buffet, big girl. You earned it. Hope the money is good. Still not governor. And so the tweet was deleted within 30 minutes, and he was fired 48 hours later. And so now he's suing because, how can you control his freedom of speech? It had nothing to do with the school. It wasn't on school grounds or property. It wasn't on the school website. But they fired him anyway. But, I mean, that happens all the time. All the time. But his lawyer says calling politicians liars and cheaters is a proud American tradition. There is something to that. Nobody's got a problem with it until it's their politician. And fat jokes might be unkind, but they aren't uncommon. Just ask Chris Christie and Donald Trump. Wow. Yep. It'll be interesting to see. We'll keep an eye on that because that'll be interesting to see if he wins a First Amendment situation there.
I mean, let's bring it local into this room. I mean, we would never do something like that. Make a fat joke about somebody.
A fat joke? No, it's as the article said, it's unkind.
It is.
And we would never be unkind.
It's so beneath us.
Yeah, it's just not cool.
To be doing that with anybody.
Nobody.
Whatsoever.
Nobody. Fat Albert. I mean, that's
rude.
That's rude.
Why is it when you and I are talking during this segment, we keep looking at the same chair? Same empty chair.
I don't know. nervous twitch, I guess.
Must be.
Something like that.
Huh. My eyes are just drawn to that spot in the room, I guess.
Oh, and as we were talking about climate change and global warming a minute ago.
Yeah.
I love this story, too. England experiences an all-time cold record in April and so far in May. Following its coldest April since 1922, England is now on schedule for its coldest May since record-keeping began some 362 years ago there.
Oh, yes! Oh, keep an eye on London and May. The rest of this month, we've got a... Is it Britain or just London specifically? Does it say?
No, it's England. It says England, yeah.
So let's be sure to... I'm going to make a note. We're going to revisit this at the end of the month because that is...
We want to track that.
Because that's a water cooler fact.
I think so, too.
When your buddies are like, I don't know, man, global warming, we should really crack down on the CO2. And you can just be like, okay, well, in May of 2021, in 362 years of record keeping, Britain had its coldest month.
Why
May.
is that? How is that? How is it possible? Back in 1659, England was still processing the death of Richard Cromwell, who, after the execution of King Charles I, had ruled the Commonwealth of England for 5 years. The year 1659 is also the start date of the Central England Temperature Data Set. That's when they started keeping track of temperatures.
Nice.
Wow, 1659. Amazing. And it proved an invaluable resource for meteorologists and climate scientists alike. Astonishingly, what the data set reveals in 2021, in this time of supposed catastrophic global warming, is that England is on track for its coldest May in more than 3.5 centuries, at least. I mean, it might be of all time. We don't know. This is just as long as they've been able to keep the records of the temperature.
But you've only got 362 data points.
Yeah, that's...
How many do you need?
9,000.
See,
you need 9,000.
If you're going to be accurate, you need 9,000. So we're going to have to deal.
They've got snow right now in May in Britain.
That is
snow. So Lake District skiers were giddy about the unseasonal weather. Snow started falling on Tuesday, May 4th, and was deep enough by Wednesday to allow the Lake District School Ski Club to open its slopes. That is amazing.
I love this.
President of the ski club said, I haven't seen snow this time of year ever before. So there you go. We always kind of debate around Christmas time because we watch the Scrooge movies, and all of them feature snow in London. We always wonder how often. I mean, it can't snow very often in England, right? It doesn't snow that much in London. And it is pretty rare. I think they get one snow per winter, something like that. And so for it to snow in May, that is amazingly unusual.
That's
good stuff.
That's fun. I love stuff like that.
And yet it doesn't make a difference to the boneheads who are all bought in hook, line, and sinker to this stupid, I won't call it a hoax, but it's a gigantic exaggeration, I would say.
I will. It's a hoax.
The response to it really kind of is. I mean, has it warmed 0.7 degrees? Yeah, as we've talked about many times, it has. In 50 years,
yeah, well,
a little bit less than a degree Fahrenheit.
But remember now, the fun fact is all those Siberian weather stations that you were forced to man under the communist regime of the Soviet Union, those got abandoned after the Soviet Union fell.
So we don't have those.
So now we don't have those
add
averaged
into
in.
it anymore,
and that explains a lot of it.
Yes, it does. All right.
And then where they're putting weather stations now, like right above black tar roofs,
right in the direct sunlight,
right?
Oftentimes, they have found that a lot.
It's a hoax,
and that's why people go by the satellite readings more than the surface temperatures, because you can do a lot of things with the surface temperature to screw it up. You can put it right next to the heating elements.
Yeah, sometimes it's right next to the HVAC exhaust. I mean, they play games. Everything's a game. This whole half hour talking about the masks outdoors, the temperatures, and all this stuff.
All about the games they play.
It's a game. And meanwhile, of course, we've got information that China now emitting more pollution than all of the countries combined. What's that story? What's that right there? Right there. Yep. Yes, sir.
Oh.
What does this say?
It just says China greenhouse gas emissions now larger than those of developed countries combined. So, you had a problem with that?
Yeah, that'll.
What's your problem with
We'll
that?
crack down on China. When you crack down on China, then come to the U.S. and talk to us.
Their greenhouse gas emissions in 2019 surpassed those of the U.S. and developed world combined.
Yeah.
According to an analysis published Thursday by the research firm Rhodium Group. China's share of global emissions rose 27% of the world's total. It's up to 27% of the entire world total.
Yeah. Why don't you knock them down to size and then worry about the rest of us?
United States remained the second largest emitter at 11%. China's share came in third, or India's share came in third at 6.6%, edging out the 27 nations in the European Union, which accounted for 6.4%.
Yeah, so if it's not a hoax that's hell-bent on destroying the American way of life, then they'll go after China.
If it's not a hoax.
If it's not a hoax, right. If it's real, then they'll point to the biggest snowball coming down the mountain, and it's China. It's not us.
I would also say, if it's not a hoax, then these people who are always freaking us out about it will stop using private jets and stop using air travel, period. If you have to go talk to somebody, do it on Zoom. That's what we do all the time in these meetings now because we can't get together in person, so we're doing Zoom calls all the time. Why can't Al Gore and John Kerry do meetings over Zoom? What do you have to pollute the atmosphere so much for?
I don't know if you want to get to it here if we have time. It's a couple minutes long, but a former Obama administration official saying this fear-mongering is ridiculous.
Yeah. How long is that?
2 minutes, yeah.
Do you have time?
You want to hit it here and see how long we can get to it?
Yes. Let's hit it here.
Okay.
This is good stuff.
Clip 21.
Clip 21.
Former Obama official.
The reports say, and again, this is the consensus science talking, not Steve talking. There are no detectable human influences on hurricanes over the last 100 years.
Thank you.
In the U.S., heat waves are no more common now than they were in 1900.
Oh, my gosh.
And have not gone up in incidence over the last 60 years.
I love this freaking guy. I love him.
Wildfires around the globe have gone down by about 25% since 2003. And yes, last year, 2020, saw terrible fires in Australia and in California here in the U.S. But in fact, 2020 globally was one of the least active fire years. It starts with the underlying research papers and the data. It goes into these assessment reports. It then moves to the summaries of the assessment reports, which are heavily influenced by the government. And then it goes to the media and ultimately to the politicians and the public. And as you go through that chain, as the information is refined, packaged, there's ample opportunity for misinformation or mischief by the time it gets to non-expert consumers.
Someone like Greta Thunberg,
nailed it,
a teenager with a catastrophist kind of view of all this, gets invited, gets a platform at the United Nations. And real scientists who actually know this stuff and aren't catastrophists don't get the invites, don't get the promotion, don't get the platforms. Explain that.
H.L. Mencken here in the States, who said something like the following, the quote is in the book, the purpose of practical politics is to keep the public alarmed by a series of threats, mostly imaginary. And in fact, the politicians have to motivate, inspire people, and over-exaggeration of threats is one of the ways in which they do that.
This is a former Obama administration official, Steve Koonin. That is incredible.
Department of Energy.
It's about time You know, it's about time somebody finally admitted it. Apparently, the Disney Corporation is backing critical race theory. They have a reported net worth of $122 billion. They're asking employees to complete a white privilege checklist, and they insist in their documents America was founded on systemic racism. The Walt Disney Company recently introduced a diversity and inclusion program. Finally, thank you. Oh, man, I thought it'd never happen. Program is entitled Reimagine Tomorrow, which is described as an anti-racism discussion guide and an allyship for race consciousness. The corporate training module for the anti-racism guide asks, what can I do about racism? You can keep your mouth shut if you're white. That's what you can do.
Thank you.
Go to the back of the bus. We don't want to hear from you anymore. Okay? Yeah. Get your ass back in the back of the bus, the very back. In fact, go ahead and go out that emergency exit back there. Really? I don't even want you on the bus. Come to think of it, I don't want you on the bus.
Does
okay?
Dr.
Whitey
Fauci run critical race theory?
Yeah.
Because it used to be have a conversation. Now it's just white people need to listen.
Yeah, and it went fast.
It sure did.
Didn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I'm about to snap over all this garbage. I can't take it. Is it time to employ the tactics of the left and just start boycotting these companies like Coke and Disney? I think it is. There has to be something that hits them where they live, and that's in the pocketbook. That's the only thing they care about, the bottom line. And that's why they think pandering to the left is going to ingratiate them. They'll come for you. The first time you do one thing against their little agenda, the first time you say anything wrong, you will have no forgiveness, and they will boycott you. You're going with the wrong group of people.
Yeah, Coke's learning that Coca-Cola.
Yep.
Yep. First, it started with, well, it's been going on for years, but I mean, it started really with training their white employees to be less white.
Yeah, and then they started to insist that if you're a company that does any business with them, that you have a certain amount of minorities on your board.
Mm-hmm.
You can't dictate to me who I hire. That's what you want to do now?
Yeah.
No.
Now they've got attorneys quitting because this is the stupidest thing they've ever heard. And we skipped right over the fact that they were pushing against the Georgia voter law that was trying to secure the elections in Georgia.
Right.
And they were all for.
There's another thing.
What you got?
Where's the story on...
And Coca-Cola, by the way, if you really believe in that law and you agree with Major League Baseball pulling the Major League Baseball All-Star Game out of Atlanta, then you need to pull your Coca-Cola signs that are all over Truist Park. You need to pull them out of there at the Braves games. If you put your money where your mouth is and do that for us, okay? Thanks.
Just waiting for the video.
No. Just Too Muck and Futch, the post stupid things on the internet girl needs to be a future square. Thanks.
So let's use brain cells before we post things on the internet.
Thanks. Okay, speaking of Disney, who owns Marvel, let's not forget.
Oh, boy.
According to actor, I suffered through the Falcon
and Bucky
and the Winter Soldier, whatever it is. Then I guess it became Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't divulge that.
Whoa.
Surprise!
Are they going to change the name? No.
I don't know if they're going to change the name. I don't know. And I don't know if that series is done already, but there was plenty of...
Here's your warning.
It may contain spoilers for, the thing. Don't say we didn't warn you. Listener and viewer discretion advised. There's your warning.
So, we suffered through...
I suffered through the all of the garbage, the social justice garbage that was in it in the first place. Did you watch it too?
Yes, and there's like a gratuitous scene where a white cop, gives him trouble. Okay, what? Stop it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of a black person will never be made,
right?
And they've already done it. They've already done it. A black person could never be Captain America, and there's a lot of America hating stuff in it. In a couple of different points.
And the one thing I'll give them from that series was the experimentation on black soldiers and stuff like that. Like remember the black dude that was experimented on against his will. I mean, Tuskegee Airmen come to mind, right? But anyway, beyond that, it was so gratuitous and just over the top. I can't take it.
Yeah. So according to actor Anthony Mackie, Marvel's bold foray into social justice with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier is not a one-off situation. The newly minted Captain America reveals in the last episode of the studio's behind-the-scenes series, Assembled, that the Marvel comic book universe is now out to change the way society looks at itself. And that's what I want from Marvel, man. I want you to help us change the way we look at ourselves. I want a deep commitment to social justice when I turn on a Marvel entertainment program. Mackie, who plays Sam the Falcon Wilson, says of his transition into Captain America at the end, it's been an emotional experience, especially in the time in which we live now. For Marvel to give me the opportunity as a black man from the South to become Captain America, I think says a lot, not only about the work that I've put in to get to this point, that they would entrust me with that, but the way that they're hoping to change the way society looks at itself. Okay, good. Producer Nate Moore clarifies what Mackie means. As a black man in America, to take the stars and stripes and wear that proudly, that's not something that Sam Wilson would do out of the box. All right, so we're going to get a lot more of the social justice stuff.
Oh, this is good, right?
From Marvel comic books.
This will be fun.
Yeah, won't that be fun?
They better not screw up Loki, though. I am so pumped for that one.
Oh, I bet they will.
No.
I bet they will. Yeah, I bet they will.
Stop.
Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe this is one of the properties. They'll probably save that for Captain America. Because, now that he's black, he can do all kinds of social justice things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
That'll be fun.
Look forward to that.
Get our comeuppance.
Right?
White America.
Yeah, Whitey. Get in the back. In fact, get off the bus. Get off the bus.
But wait.
Whitey.
I
don't want to hear from you. No. I don't care what you have to say. I don't want to hear a word out of your mouth.
Exit out the front door? Then?
No, you go out the back, the emergency exit.
Won't the alarm sound?
I don't even care at this point.
Wait.
Don't even care.
Wait, can we go back to why am I getting kicked off the bus?
Because I don't want to hear from you. Okay?
Well,
I don't want to hear from you. We're talking about serious adult things. You need to get out.
Well, can I just sit here and listen and learn?
No, you can't.
A teachable moment?
No, you're not teachable. We've already established that. Get off.
Why? Is it somehow bred into me to not be teachable?
Yes.
Because I'm white?
Yes. And when you're walking down the street and you see a black person, you get scared. And you walk across the street, go to the other side of the street.
I mean, if that were the case, I certainly wouldn't say it out loud. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Obama's grandma did.
I hear you.
Apparently she did. So she was a typical white person, though.
Right.
Who had that fear of black people bred into her, which is interesting. All right. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed. On Twitter, we got more wokeness, not just from Marvel and Disney. We had some great wokeness. We played some for you last week, in fact. The CIA's wokeness. Man, are they woke. They hired a cisgendered woman who has GAD, general anxiety disorder.
Not general anxiety disorder fly.
I could only think
fly?
of some other kind of A, but it was general anxiety disorder. And so I guess that's going to scare the hell out of the Russians and the Chinese that we got people with GAD working for us. Makes them better spies.
Yeah.
Say what you will. It makes them better spies. Apparently there's a new CIA woke commercial recruiting video, and it looks a little something like this.
As an agency librarian, I work to ensure that our collection and services
Pause
are
for a
matched
second.
up with CIA.
Wait a minute. We have CIA librarians?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Can you not tell your family you work at the CIA's library?
And
I'm a CIA library. If I told you that, though, I'd have to kill you. So pretend I didn't tell you.
I'd have to kill you in the 900 section. Because that's the quietest part of the library.
There's a CIA librarian.
I want to point out that
oh, man.
minutes after he became president, Joe Biden said, you got to wear masks inside federal buildings. All these CIA videos that they've recorded since then, nobody's wearing a mask.
All right.
Biden doesn't wear a mask. Psaki doesn't wear a mask. Again, it's rules for you, not them.
Right.
Anyway.
All right, let's take this for the top if we could.
As an agency librarian, I work to ensure that our collection and services are matched up with what CIA needs.
Slow motion.
Not only am I involved in the acquisitions of journals, books, and countless electronic resources, I'm also encouraged to curate special collections that challenge expectation. Recently, I brought in our intelligence gaming collection to give officers unique opportunities to practice skills they need in their various roles. Instead of sitting for hours in front of a computer-based training, they can play a carefully selected game to train a specific set of skills while simultaneously building on the myriad soft skills essential to intelligence work. My favorite thing about CIA is that they encourage the out-of-the-box ideas that drive real progress. Growing up gay in a small southern town, I was lucky to have a wonderful and accepting family. I always struggled with the idea that I might not be able to discuss my personal life at work.
Oh, what is your personal life?
Imagine my surprise when I was taking my oath at CIA.
Read between the lines,
I noticed a rainbow on then-director Brennan's lanyard.
Oh, he's got a rainbow
I later
on
learned
his...
was designed by Angle, one of the many employee resource.
So he's got a rainbow on his lanyard.
So what do we infer
obviously,
from that?
I'm inferring
that he likes unicorns and rainbows.
Yes.
Okay.
That he's a brony. That he likes the... he's one of the brothers, one of the bros.
That's what I'm getting
that
from
likes
this.
My Little Pony.
Right. I mean, and that's what he said, right? Like, in my small town, my personal life, I'm much more comfortable now.
Yeah. So what are we saying there?
Be a brony in public here at CIA. Does it bug anybody else that they don't say the CIA?
Yes, I was just going to bring that up. Yes. And so here at Central Intelligence Agency, don't you need a "the" in front of that?
I mean, I'm not in the club. So.
And I noticed that in the last one, she did the same thing.
Right.
Here at CIA, here at Central Intelligence Agency, it's not the Central Intelligence Agency? I don't know. That's weird. Let's see what else the brony has to say.
Weird.
And I noticed a rainbow on then-director Brennan's lanyard, which I later learned was designed by Angle, one of the many employee resource groups here at the agency.
Angle.
I remember being stunned. Since then, however, I've learned that far beyond the resource groups, inclusion is a core value here.
Oh, cool.
Good.
Officers from the top down work hard to ensure that every single person, whatever their gender identity, race, disability, or sexual orientation, can bring their entire self to work every day.
Fantastic. That's awesome. I am bursting with pride now for the yes. Mm-hmm. So we have a cisgender, general anxiety disorder agent somewhere in the CIA.
Yeah. Well, she's in the other section of the library. She wasn't on camera there. Mm-hmm.
And now we've got a gay librarian at the CIA's library.
Oh, you're inferring something that I didn't pick up from there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the rainbow sash that he wore.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't because he's a brony?
Apparently not, no. At the end, with the way they phrase things,
I guess.
It kind of convinced me otherwise.
I just couldn't pick
maybe
that
it
up.
went beyond My Little Pony. I don't know. I don't know.
Boy,
again, our enemies are shaking in their boots now. Oh my gosh, you guys are all inclusive? Oh, crap. Now we're done. We're toast. We're absolutely toast.
They are laughing
They're
at us.
so inclusive. They've got a gay librarian at the CIA's library. We can't go up against that. How do we top that? Can we get a transgendered person who is also a gay nun to work as a field operative, maybe, in the KGB, which is the GRC now, or no, it's something.
Yeah, Rob says that's next week's ad.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you think, okay, let's just say you check out a book from CIA Library.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and it's past due, right? You think that guy's going to get pretty angry with you? I mean, are they going to really enforce the fines, or how lax are they at CIA Library with the book fines and stuff? I mean,
I don't know. He didn't really get into that. I didn't get a clue from
he
that.
He seems pretty mild-mannered.
He does, yeah.
So I don't think that it would really get under his skin, so that's
Seems
good.
like he'd be a really nice librarian.
Yeah, and like if you can't find something, you know, and there's no one at the information desk, just go to the northeastern corner of the library and you'll find this guy back there playing Dungeons and Dragons all alone. I mean, what was he playing? Some like weird role-playing, it was like octagon dice game something back there. And there was like a Cracker Barrel games, you know, where you
they
sit
were
there
carefully
and jump
selected. I don't know if you heard this. They were carefully selected
Were they?
video games. Yeah.
Carefully
the hell is wrong with you,
selected
Keith?
video
These
games.
are carefully selected video games.
Boy, China and Russia got to be like,
They're
oh,
scared.
snap.
They're scared.
They're playing the memory game. Oh, look, he's playing match or whatever with the cards laying out there on the table. We can't. Oh my gosh, we've lost the war. We've lost the war because they've got the gay librarian playing role-playing games in the back corner of CIA Library.
Is that Disney Trivial Pursuit they're playing now? Oh no.
I told you we couldn't compete against the West.
We must get more funding. We must.
I want a senator, I want a congressman to get on the floor and argue for the game budget of CIA. Get on the floor and say, we demand the latest version of Monopoly, not the ones with missing pieces. We are done. We are done. It was fun, though.
It was.
Years ago, I remember Glenn Beck. He's a radio guy, right? And I remember him saying, we are in the vapors of freedom. I mean, that was like a decade ago.
Or more.
What are we in now?
Oof.
We're hurting. This is not good.
Well, for one thing, we're in the throes of butt stupidity. That's one thing. We're also in the clutches of tyranny right now. And they're in the process of just completely destroying this country. They really are. 888-900-3393.
It's up to you, Pat Gray, to make the apocalypse fun.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, good.
Try to do it.
We need it. Help us.
Yeah. More Pat Gray Unleashed. Making the apocalypse fun. Coming up. Hey, am I the only one that didn't know Elon Musk has Asperger's? I had no idea.
You know what? I didn't either. So when he said it during the monologue during SNL, I was like, okay, I got you.
It explains
now.
a lot.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, it explains.
But no, I did not.
He's a little eccentric, you know, and that kind of helps explain it.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's also an incredible genius.
Which, yeah, I mean, it explains that too.
Yeah, it does. It's interesting. I had never heard that before. I thought the way he said it, he acted like it was common knowledge. But I had no idea. And you didn't either, huh? 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Actually, I thought he was pretty funny until his mom came on. And then it got kind of, I don't know, a little cheesy and awkward. But I thought he was really pretty good in the opening monologue. Did you not? You didn't like him?
It was fine. I mean,
it was pretty good.
Let's go Overton Window. Compared to the rest of the actors on stage for SNL,
he was a genius.
Oh, genius. I mean, he's a comedic. He's up in the upper echelon, man.
He's Eddie Murphy.
Right. He is up there compared to that crew.
Oh, my gosh.
That
They're
cast
terrible.
Is horrific.
They're absolutely terrible. There's not a funny person among them.
Not at all. The writing, see, this is what's so bad. You could hide bad writing with great actors. Or you could hide, the opposite effect. But they're terrible across the board,
Yeah, they really
writing
are.
and acting. And by the way, a lot of people are saying that, and we have a clip if you want to get to it at some point, but Dogecoin fell. They're saying, oh, that's because he called it what was the word he used? He called it a
well, let's watch it and see.
Okay.
Here's what he said about it.
Colin, are you making any sense of this? Me? Well, I've actually been reading a lot about it, and I'm trying to diversify my investment portfolio.
Dogecoin.
My question is, what is Dogecoin?
He's been trying to explain it for 2 minutes here.
I'm glad you asked.
It's a good question.
Well, it's the future of currency. It's an unstoppable financial vehicle that's going to take over the world.
I get that, but what is it, man?
I keep telling you, it's a cryptocurrency you can trade for conventional money.
Oh, so it's a hustle.
Yeah, it's a hustle.
Why didn't you say that, man? Baseball to everybody.
He's joking.
To the moon.
I mean, he's just going along. He's going along with what the,
It's written in the script.
They're trying to be funny. So it's a hustle. Yeah, it's a hustle. It's just, where else are you going to go with that?
And so on Sunday morning, you wake up to all these notifications, and oh my gosh, the price of
went down 30%.
Right. I was watching obsessively the price of Dogecoin and SNL at the same time. It was already down from 74 to 54 long before that bit. When that bit happened, it was already at 54. It eventually bottomed out at 43, and now it's back up to 51. So, I mean, that people were taking profits before SNL went on the air Saturday night.
As you would expect when it goes clear up to 74. And it was under a cent for a long time. It was under 1 penny.
In February, yep.
Yeah. Toothpaste Words tweets, I didn't know the CIA had a drama department.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't the drama department. That was it was the library.
Oh,
so, yeah.
No.
Just to clear that up. Brian Moore tweets, the CIA is all-inclusive. Unless you're a straight white male, then you're not welcome.
Yeah, you've had your time in the sun, sir.
Tobin for Pope campaign. So the CIA has librarians. Do they also have ketchup inspectors? Condimental terrorism is the real threat.
Oh, Jeffy should so apply.
Yeah. I would say condiment terror is akin to white supremacy terror. They're both have about the same amount of followers, I think.
They're definitely under the same umbrella. That's for sure.
Rants out loud. I bet the gay librarian will be the first to shush you if you're too loud in the CIA library. Well, that's his job. That's his job. Leslie Phelps tweets, the world is laughing at us.
Yeah.
Imagine they're all sitting around eating snack foods and taking bets on what happens next. Oh, nobody will win that bet because you can't even imagine the kind of stupidity we'll come up with next. You can't even fathom it.
Yeah.
Because you certainly couldn't have seen any of this coming, right? I mean, it's so bad now that I don't see how you could possibly predict it.
If the Babylon Bee made parody videos, it would be what we've been seeing coming out of the CIA. And if y'all have any more CIA recruitment videos, be sure to tag me at Keith Malinak on Twitter.
Love them. Keep them coming. All right, on the streets of Portland. That should be maybe a weekly segment or something. The streets of Portland. Really bad. I mean, heavily armed leftists acting as security for a march in Portland earlier this week. Pointed their guns at a lone motorist, threatened him, and the fed up driver exited his truck and pointed his own gun at them. I mean, we're fortunate that nobody was killed here.
No kidding.
People are going to die if this keeps up. There was another little incident that also came up with a driver trying to get around the douchebag protesters who are in the street blocking off traffic. Person just trying to get home. Let me just get home. Nope. Because they're apparently the law in Portland right now. Check this out. This is heavily bleeped because there's a lot of profanity in this.
Stop that car! Stop the
Okay, so what happened here is, pause it for just a second. The audio is much more compelling than the video because they knocked the video up so you couldn't see them what they're doing exactly. And so it's unclear who is saying what, but you can tell that they're ordering this guy to get out of his vehicle, to stop his vehicle, turn off his car, and get out of the vehicle, as if they're Portland police, as if they have any authority. Listen to this.
You mother! You the wrong people, bro!
Mess wrong with the wrong people, bro.
Stop the car! Stop the car! Stop the car!
Listen, no!
Stop the car! Stop the car! Turn off the vehicle!
Jeez, man.
Turn off the vehicle! Turn off your vehicle!
Yeah, I heard you. I'm not going to. They've got weapons trained on him now. Okay, they've slashed his tires. Look at that. He's already got 2 flat tires because they slashed him.
Hey, man! Turn the vehicle off! Medic! This mother, I'm getting his plates. That this mother. Try to run people over. You, bro.
Okay, they're blaming him now for trying to run people over, which nothing could be further from the truth.
Get out of the car!
No.
You coward! You wanna try to kill people?
Coward. There's like 40 of you, and you're armed. I'm a coward? Unreal. So, this is amazing. Then he starts complaining. Then one of the guys with the rifle, I think, starts complaining about this guy. What's the matter with people? What's the matter with people? I don't know. They want to get home?
Man. Why don't you, asshole? Hey, I got you. I got water.
Boy, Daniel had fun editing this video.
Yeah, it's loaded with it.
Sounds like me watching the Falcons.
Man.
Oh, Al Sharpton was there?
He just coughed up a hairball.
Wow, the Reverend
one of the
Al was
protesters
there.
had a hairball. They should be protesting that. Leave this poor guy alone. Oh, are you okay? Please. Yeah, the protesters are the victims here. This is great.
Demons.
I can't take it.
I got water. Water right here. Water right here.
Mic check. Y'all suck.
Point of personal privilege.
Yeah, someone tried to suck.
Why don't you all go home? Just go home, all of you, please.
Yeah, I'm good,
Into
I'm
your
good.
parents' basement, where you live.
But you did run somebody over. Mother. I'm glad we de-escalated, but you tried to kill people, bro.
De-escalated.
Problem.
All right, he's trying to kill people, bro. All right, enough. I can't take it. These thugs are taking over the streets and demanding that people in vehicles stop, get out of their car, turn off their engine. They don't have the authority. They don't have any authority to make people stop there at that intersection. None. So they get into the street, block it off, and then anybody who tries to get through slowly, but I'm going to get through because you don't have the right to stop me. Get out of the street. But anybody who tries to get through, they start going bat crap crazy over, claiming they're trying to kill them. They are the victims. Man, this absolutely has to stop.
Well,
it has to stop.
Thankfully, they just de-escalated it, though.
Yeah, right. Where are the cops in Portland? People are going to get killed here. It's almost inevitable.
Yeah.
Get out of the street, you moron buffoons. And I promise you, no one will try to run you over. Get out of the street. And you won't even get bothered. You can protest all you want over there on the sidewalk. And these buffoons are all heavily armed now. So this is just an incredibly dangerous, volatile situation. And the police in Portland are doing nothing. And here's the beauty of it. It's not just Portland anymore. It's not just for breakfast, and it's not just in Portland.
Where else could
anymore.
it possibly be?
Gosh, probably California or New York.
I mean, but you're cherry picking very liberal
crazy
areas.
liberal area like Plano, Texas.
Well, that is actually becoming such.
Yeah.
But yeah, Metro Dallas.
Right here.
Suburb.
Right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
Yeah, well, at least the police show up there.
Yeah, that's good. Check this out. Okay. So the police had it handled.
Oh, look, they're blocking traffic at a major intersection. And one guy ain't having it. One guy. Now, there's a police officer right there in the corner.
Yeah. And where's everybody else? Here comes this one big dude. Right, thank you. Pause it for a second. This is Pat Gray, if Pat Gray is stuck like that behind all those vehicles and these morons.
I believe an accessory is missing.
And Keith Melinak. But seriously, I think I would be going up there and telling them to get out of my way.
Yeah, a bunch of patheads.
Get out.
Looking up the Texas codes and stuff like that. I mean, they're effectively being held kidnapped there, right?
Yes.
So
yes,
that's where you get to
and
push
again,
back.
There's no authority for them to be doing this. You can't get a permit to block off city streets.
Look at the cop's body language, though. Come on, man. Just let him be. I'm sorry. What now? And
it's great because
attention.
he doesn't hit anybody. He goes over to the cop looking for redress.
Well,
hey, can you do something about this, please?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Just standing there.
And then several patheads were able to slow down the video, and then you're gonna see a black guy come up. I forgot if that's the Legal Observer or whatever. Anybody can get a T-shirt with anything printed on it, especially like fascists. And watch the black guy pulls a gun. The guy for BLM pulls a gun, and the cop still does nothing. Watch this nonsense.
Get him out of here.
Yeah. So he's got to do it himself. Look at that. See, pull a gun right there.
Wow. Really dangerous situation.
And the cop does nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Legal
Except tell this guy to back off.
Same thing we've seen time and time again. Back the blue, but my gosh, could the blue back us on occasion when this stuff happens?
Right.
Sir, this is anarchy today. This is anarchy day, so you're gonna have to just let them do what they want to do. Animals, man. Look at these animals.
And most of them white animals. So don't be coming to us and saying,
animals.
Many of them are white. This is unbelievable in Plano, Texas.
What's worse is that the guy is alone. Nobody else is getting out and doing jack crap.
Nobody did anything with him.
Just keep on taking it, just like your CDC BS. Keep on taking it, y'all.
Look at that. I mean, there's a huge traffic jam, and everybody else is just taking it.
And then the one black chick with her phone is following this guy back to his car so that they can show his license plate, out who he is, and they're probably right now sitting in front of his house for all we know.
Could very well be.
You know what would have helped that? If
I don't
the
know
cop
if
had
I'd mess
intervened.
with that guy, though.
If the cop had intervened and then stopped the whole flow from following him and making this a bigger thing, my gosh. I mean,
and Plano's got one little cop there. A guy who's, I don't know, 5'6" or something. Easier to hop over than walk around. He's the guy that you got doing this, and no backup, no help for this guy.
Well, I mean,
you should have about 30 cops there, and they should have shut this thing down long time ago.
I'm sure that's going to become a priority with the police chief, who, if we want to revisit some video from last summer, was marching with BLM.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, well then, there he is. Solidarity, baby.
Woo! There's our favorite policeman.
You know,
marching with the Marxists.
I have been specifically warned about Plano and all the corporations that have been moving in there and bringing their ideologies with them, and they have taken root. And
Plano's a great town too. It's awful to see this happening to it.
Yep.
It's a great place, and it's despicable that they're allowing this to happen to it.
That right there, though, is the difference between the Dallas side. You know, people see that and they go, oh my gosh, Texas. I could see this happening in Austin, blah, blah, blah. That right there is a microcosm of how the Dallas side thinks and how the Fort Worth side of the Metroplex thinks. Mm-hmm. I don't know that you're going to have the same outcome if they are 45 minutes to the west.
Yeah. I don't know. I was, after I saw this, I was thinking, it could happen here, and it probably will. It probably will. Yep. But will they handle it differently? I mean, BLM can come and do all kinds of demonstrations in our area. I don't think the police stand by and just watch it happen. Maybe I'm wrong. But I don't think so.
See, I'm getting closer and closer to experiencing this in my life. I mean, it was several years ago. It was after dark. It was after a hockey game. My son and I were coming up the Interstate 35, and BLM had blocked one side of the interstate. This is in Dallas.
Really?
About 3 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Because when we went out to our car, we're like, helicopters are flying over. We're like, oh my gosh, what is going on here? And when we were headed home, we're headed north on 35. Southbound was blocked by a crowd of people. I mean, it had just happened. And you've got to think this through because this stuff gets closer and closer. How are you going to react?
Yeah.
And obviously you don't want to start, shooting up the place.
No, you don't.
But you also don't want to be killed either.
And you never know what's going to happen.
What would be helpful?
There's a guy in the hospital right now who got taken out of his truck. It's one of these guys. It might have been even one that we showed. They finally took him out of his vehicle and beat the crap out of him. He had 5 broken ribs. He had
I think we have that video.
Arm. Yeah, do we?
I think that other Portland video, guys, I don't know if you want to cue it up, if that's something you can do.
It might be the other Portland video we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they did beat him, and he's in the hospital.
Yeah, it was the guy. I think it was the same
injuries.
guy that they said, get out of your car that you just played. I think eventually he gets out of the car. I may be wrong on this one. Is that the same guy? No, it's a different guy. Same color truck, but... Really? Now he pulls a gun.
Yep. You see, and then he's jumped from behind, and they do start kicking and beating him. It might be this guy. God, it's unbelievable.
Now, the other one's a red minivan, so this is a red pickup. Different guy. So in other words, Portland...
Look, by the way, they're not showing what's going on now. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, wait. What do you mean what's going on? What could possibly be going on?
They piled on the guy and kicked and beat him until they put him in the hospital. It must be this. It must be this very incident right here.
And everybody just watches.
Chilling. It's chilling what's going on. They've just taken over the United States of America.
And this is literally a neighborhood, by the way. I mean, these are houses right here.
You pulled a weapon on somebody, dude. You're out of f***ing line.
You ready to get the out of here?
Yeah, give me my
All right, we'll get the out of here now.
Oh, jeez. That's unreal. So they stole his gun. They stole some other things out of his truck and beat the absolute crap out of him.
I'm a disabled Marine. I don't give a blank who you are. Thank you for defending our freedom, sir. This is where we're at.
You're fine. You're fine.
You're fine. Yeah, he's got broken ribs. He's got broken arm. He's got all kinds of injuries. Lots of broken bones. I don't know. One of his shoes came off. He was beaten so bad. They beat his shoes off of him. It's unreal. It's unfathomable how they can allow this to continue. This is why Missouri did the bill that you can defend yourself when you're surrounded by a mob in your car.
Florida, too.
And Oklahoma, I believe.
And Texas, it
states.
just passed the House. I'm pretty sure it's going to become a law here.
But they've learned, these protesters all start screaming that you're trying to kill them. So they're justified doing whatever they want to you.
And they've learned to turn that camera away, like you pointed out.
Yeah.
No evidence.
Yeah, don't show him. Don't show him the beating we're going to give him. Don't show that.
And then they start screaming, medic! We need a medic over here.
Yeah.
Well, not if you didn't beat the crap out of the guy for trying to drive down a freaking road.
Right. And one of them proclaims afterwards, yeah, we're giving the guy a medic when he tried to kill 3 of us. No, that's not how it went down. Douche. 888-933-93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let me tell you about Real Estate Agents I Trust. You want to live in a nice area? You want to live in an area away from all of that stuff? You need a realtor who knows the area and knows what's going on in all these sections of town and can help steer you in the right direction to a great school district, to where one is hopefully not being involved in critical race theory. I mean, there's so much to this now, above and beyond what you need to do to your house to sell it in the least amount of time for the most money. And Real Estate Agents I Trust are the ones you can turn to do this. They're fans of the show, so they're going to be like-minded. I'm guessing they're not going to have Antifa stickers on their car, BLM flags flying. None of that stuff will be an issue. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name really kind of says it all. Real Estate Agents I Trust. Some tweets here. Kamikaze Dodo Slug tweets, if I ever have to return to Portland and Antifa tried to stop me, I'll roll straight through without stopping.
Yeah, you know what? Might be a good time for people to change their insurances so they you only have to pay like a small deductible.
Hippie Patriot, the man in Plano is my spirit animal. And from Evan Rogers, the average country lasts about 250 years. America is currently about 245 years old. Will America make it to 250 years old? Yeah, it's a whole 5 years. I mean, that's crazy talk.
That can change.
All right, we ran a little long last time, so we'll be right back with a very long segment to end up the show here. Welcome. 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Hope you had a great weekend and a great Mother's Day yesterday. On Saturday night, my wife and I went to one of my granddaughter's recitals.
Aww.
And it ended about 15 minutes ago.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You had to get to work.
Yeah. I said, at this point, I'm going to have to do part of the show, at least half the show from the recital here. And so I found a little quiet corner, and that's where I've been until just now. Got back.
Wow, and you fought traffic and everything.
It's the longest recital in human history.
See?
And you're there to see two dances that she's in. I don't care about I'm sorry, but I don't care about watching everybody else do their little ballet routine.
Right.
Or modern dance routine.
Oh, no.
Agonizing.
See,
agonizing. I'm like, can we just, let's pretend like we saw the last performance already.
Right.
And leave here at intermission. My wife's like, I'm not going to bring you with me next time. Well, good, but that doesn't help me this time. Let's get out of here. And so that I stopped talking about it because I was pissing her off. And so about, we're like at 9 o'clock. The thing started at 6. And she says, all right, we're leaving after the next dance.
Oh,
yeah.
Well then.
Yeah, it got too much for even her.
Wow.
Oh,
see, my tour of duty
man.
was Friday night through Sunday morning. No, it was Friday night is when I went to that. And I'm like you, it's
recital?
Like yeah. So both of my daughters were in it, and they were in so many dances that there wasn't more than just a few between, where I got to see them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But to start the show, they had technical difficulties.
And they always do. Ours did too.
And you're like, really?
Really? Come on now.
We're not going to start on time.
Can we move this along?
And then the clock is ticking, and you're like, you know what? We don't need lights. We don't need sound.
No.
Just dance so we
dance,
can go.
Baby. Dance.
Right.
Anyway. But the interesting thing about it was I didn't wear my mask in there, and I thought, oh, no, this is going to be an issue, and I'm going to be the only one.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to stand out. I went in. Maybe half the people had masks.
Oh, wow.
Maybe half. And we're not socially,
I'll keep my social distance. I'll keep my social distance.
We're not distanced. Hardly at all. Because you're in these little theater chairs, just jammed in. And so that'll be a true test. If I'm not here in 2 weeks, you'll know why. Pat got COVID.
Or,
he's down for the count.
The theater I was in was packed to the gills, and I promise you, I saw 2 masks.
Oh, really? Yeah, further up north where you live, kind of in the hinterland, it's even more Texas than where I live.
Well, this group, though, this was in the heart of Fort Worth.
Oh, really?
This this recital hall. So, whatever,
cool.
man. I'm glad people are living their lives.
Yeah, it's nice. It's good to see. It's just reassuring to see things getting back to normal and people acting normally. And the people who had masks on didn't look at you sideways like you were trying to freaking kill me.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't have any of that.
Why are you trying to murder my children?
Yeah, I'm not. So I didn't have to put up with any of that. It was really refreshing, actually.
We get on interstates traveling 65 miles per hour every day, right? We get into metal tubes and fly above the planet every day without a second thought. And we're terrified. We're going to let the government terrify you into sitting around in a mask everywhere you go outside in 90-degree heat, as Dr. Fauci says.
They're doing a great job of it, too. They're doing a great job. They've really convinced easily half the nation that this is all necessary and wonderful. And if you're not going along, you just hate people and you're trying to kill people. Or you want to kill your grandma? I mean, they use those kinds of lines.
Yeah, I mean, it's not mutually exclusive. I mean, yes, like you can hate people and still not be afraid. And anyway.
All right. 888-900-3393. Got some tweets here. It's a moo point instead of moot. Where did we just see that? Was that from the show or was that some?
That's from Friends. Joey says it's a cow's opinion.
Okay. It's a moo point.
It's moo. I love. There are a few
that's great.
just classic Friends scenes, and that's one of them.
All these protests in the streets. This is why I don't live in the city and never will. Some of us are old enough to remember Reginald Denny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. And why we will never stop our vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If we didn't learn it from that experience in 1992. We're apparently not going to learn it.
I'm telling you, man. Change the deductible so you pay $50 to get your car fixed, and that's solved the problem for you when you get to these intersections.
And don't try to hurt anybody. Just try to drive through it.
Because they're gonna dent your car, smash a window, but at least you'll still have your life, and you'll be out $50.
Be careful though. They're now arming themselves so that they can shoot at you, shoot your tires out, blow out your windshield, or maybe even kill you. So. We're going to have gunfights on the streets because in Texas, there are people who run around this place armed. They've got their gun on them. And by the way, Texas just passed. The Texas Senate just passed what they called, and this is a brilliant name for it, constitutional carry. We already have open carry. Now we have constitutional carry. Well, we don't yet. It has to be, I think it has to go to the House and then be signed by the governor. But I'm pretty sure it will be. But that means that you can carry a concealed weapon without a permit because it's just your constitutional right to have a gun on you when you want to.
Yeah. Here's what Governor Abbott tweeted out yesterday. In 48 hours, the Texas House voted to defund cities that defund police.
Good.
Ban abortion at detection of heartbeat. /star test requirements.
Good stuff.
Ban homeless camping statewide.
Oh.
Penalize protesters blocking roads.
Thank you.
Ensure election integrity. Easy to vote, hard to cheat.
Nice.
So, there we go.
Discarded giblet tissue tweets. Well, in that cop's defense, if he attempted to gain control of the situation, his life would be ruined.
True.
Yeah. David, that's why you need multiple cops there. They should all be insisting, get out of the intersection.
Show of force. You're never going to do this in Plano again.
Right.
But we saw the mindset of the chief.
We're going to try to talk to the mayor of Plano. He's the mayor-elect. He just took office today, so he can't be blamed for what happened yesterday or the day before. Or the day before that. What was it, Friday?
I think
that happened in Plano? Anyway, we'll talk to him if we can, if he'll agree to come on. And find out if he's going to put a stop to this before it gets completely out of control and people do get killed. David Johnson tweets, The Streets of Portland, starring Carl Malden and Michael Douglas as social workers.
Yes.
And now the streets of Portland. Jimmy Dimples tweets, one cop doing zip in the street blockade in Plano and the SWAT team en masse ganging up and taking down that poor Alberta pastor. Please come quickly, Jesus.
Yeah, there's an update on the pastor in Alberta.
There sure is. This is the guy who keeps telling cops when they show up on worship day, Get out, you Nazis! Get out! Get out, Nazis! Get out! You're all Nazis!
That's good.
And then this happened.
Yeah, on his way home from service on Saturday. Yep.
Well, it looks like the police is catching us after the church service in the middle of the road. They waited with AHS, and here they are behind. So we'll see what is about to happen. Freedom in Canada, democracy in Canada, full force, unbelievable.
And there's his compatriots.
Pastor Pawlowski.
The gangsters are here.
So, as per the injunction that was served on Arthur here and David back here, I am to place both of them under arrest for breaching the Queen's bench order.
Breaching the Queen's bench order?
Yes, sir.
The Queen? What does the freaking Queen have to do with this in Canada? Are we pause it for a second? I mean, this is not the point of the video.
Yeah,
but can we stop pretending there's a queen that oversees Canada? I mean, let them do that in the UK, but Canada? Come on. Let's stop the pretend, should we? All right, let's see the rest of this.
So how do you feel being a Nazi now?
How do you feel
We got
being-
a gangster here.
Oh, man.
Wanna be Gestapo?
What's his officer? What's your name and number? Sorry. What's your name and number, please?
5283 Constable Garwood.
Alberta, Canada. The crime, worshipping.
Jeez. I'm sorry, you're under arrest for conspiracy to worship.
Sure.
You can't have it. Can't have it. Will not abide it. We will not abide your religiosity.
Open the door, man. Whoa, stop.
Okay, but at least they're complying, right? They're getting out of the vehicle.
Oh, he's a Winnipeg Jets fan? I don't know how I feel about that.
This guy's really having a tough time getting out of the car. And now they're out. And he's going to... Oh.
There we go.
There's Artur, I think. Yep, one of them is
both of them.
Artur and his brother both got arrested and taken to jail. Is that unbelievable?
And he made
it
a
actually
video
happened.
in anticipation of this. I don't know if you want to play that here, but...
yeah, let's see that. Because this was... If you're seeing this video, then... Well, watch. He'll say it.
Look at this. Look at this, man. 1933 Germany.
Right in the middle of the road.
I said 1930. I'm sorry. 2021 Alberta,
Hello,
Canada.
friends. This is Pastor Art Poloski. If you're watching this video,
on an
that means
expressway.
they have successfully arrested me and I am in jail. If you would like to support me, if you would like to support Rebel News and the legal team that is trying their best to get me out of this
Look at
trouble,
this. Look at
please
this.
go to savearthur.com.
Look
Please
at
donate. Please help,
dragging him.
help me, help my family,
Unreal.
help my wife and my children to get me out of this horrible, illegal situation. Please go to savearthur.com and get me out of this if you can.
Looks like they bound his hands and legs and then carried him to the patrol car. Unbelievable.
If you want to help,
as
it's
Artur would say.
SaveArtur.com, SaveArtur.com. Now, I can't verify this yet, but somebody sent me a video in that same province of Alberta of cars lined up. This was the day before.
Oh, at a place of worship?
Yeah, a place of worship. We're waiting to get in, big crowd.
Let's check this
And
out.
It's a mosque, Pat.
Oh, okay. And there's a lot of cars that are coming in,
Yeah.
and they're going to go into the mosque and do whatever they do in the mosque.
Well, not worship, obviously. That's not
No.
allowed anymore.
That is something else.
Oh,
isn't it?
wait, no, that's because they're Islamic.
And they're completely left alone. So it's okay to conspire to worship if you're Islamic. It is not okay if you're Christian. I see. That's the message we're getting here, right? Let me tell you about Scoremaster. If you've got some credit issues, you should probably know the average American has 97 points that can be added to your credit score, but obviously you don't know how to get them, right? That's where Scoremaster comes in. It's the new credit science, super boosts your credit score. Forget raising your credit a couple of points. As I've told you on several occasions, there's these credit repair agencies that advertise and have real people, actual customer. I raised my credit score 6 points. Whoa. That helped a lot, didn't it? Say your credit score was in the high 500s to mid 600s when you buy a new car. If you'd gone to Scoremaster first and raised your credit score just the average 61 points in 20 days, our listeners get, you could have saved $9,000 on your car loan, about $100,000 over the life of your home loan. It's incredible. If you own a business, you know how essential great credit is. From getting a loan to funding projects, financing equipment, go to Scoremaster first. Scoremaster, it puts you in control of your finances, not the banks. Enroll in minutes, and they'll show you how many plus points you can add to your score, too, and how fast you can get them. Scoremaster.com/Pat. That's Scoremaster.com/Pat.
Pat Gray. Unleashed.
Get out, you Nazis! Get out! It's almost a Schwarzenegger thing, right? Get out!
Please get out. Get out of this property. Immediately get out.
Immediately.
I don't care what you have to say. Out! Out! Out of this property, you Nazis!
So now they got a Queen's warrant, which you know what that means.
Queen's bench warrant. Yeah, absolutely.
The Queen has ordered you into prison. So I'm not sure which tower they're going to keep you at. Maybe it's the Buckingham Tower. I don't know. I just know that it's serious when you've crossed the Queen, who hasn't had any real power in the last 250 or 60 or 70 years. But don't let that bother you. It's a scary thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they took Artur and his brother to jail. It's just unbelievable. Seriously is. In Washington State now, this isn't Canada. It's in Washington State. Their reopening plan includes vaccine passports for religious gatherings. Sporting events, too. But the religious gatherings, that puts it in a very unconstitutional light. You can't prohibit people from worshiping as they choose because they don't have a stupid vaccine. You can't do that. Well, they're going to try. Jay Inslee released his immediate plan to partially roll back COVID-19 restrictions on religious gatherings and sporting events, but the plan's primary focus is on utilizing vaccine passports. Wow. According to Inslee's office, Washington spectator facilities and religious organizations may increase their attendance capacity by screening for COVID-19, for screening their vaccination status. This vaccine verification process can be done in several ways. You can get the vaccination card or a photo of a vaccination card as a separate document, or a photo of the attendee's vaccine card stored on a phone or electronic device, or documentation of vaccination from a healthcare provider, electronic health record, or state immunization information systems record. Self-reported vaccination records that are not verified by a healthcare provider, I'm sorry, they can't be accepted.
Well.
You can't go to church. Sorry, you're not allowed.
I mean, this is clearly unconstitutional.
Well, come on.
And it's clearly against HIPAA laws, right? But, I mean, is it kind of a cow's opinion? Is it kind of a moo point? Since, does anybody in Washington State still go to church anyhow?
Probably not. Not very many.
Kind of like, there's no teeth in that law.
Man.
Or that edict, I should say.
Well, this is all coming down from the Queen. And
no.
Yeah, so the Queen is saying you got to have a vaccination card or you can't go worship at church. You would think we were under the rule of a monarch right now, wouldn't you? You'd think that there is one boneheaded idiot who is making all of these decisions.
At least then we could say, look, there's this one guy doing this to us.
Boneheaded idiot. But it's not. And they're doing it even though we have a constitution that prohibits it.
Yes. And it's multiple levels.
Jeez.
Whether it's executive or in the states, right down to your local city councils and school boards. And the problem is that half of your countrymen are just fine with all of these breaches.
Oh, they're great with it.
Oh, please tell me more. Tell me what I should and should not do. When is it okay to take a mask off? When's it okay for my kid to play outside in the fresh air? Oh my gosh, stop it.
And get this. This doesn't even get them to full participation. They're not even, they can't even increase their overall facility load to more than 50%. It's just 50% capacity.
Washington State? Mm-hmm.
Even with the vaccination card thing.
I mean, they're playing games with you, man.
Oh, man. Seriously. It can't stand.
15 days to flatten the curve has morphed into maybe we'll let your church be at half capacity if you're vaccinated and can prove it. Screw you. I mean, this is...
Maybe.
Stop it.
And that's not even for sure. I mean, maybe we won't. Here's the thing. You can stay, where this is not unconstitutional, because you can stay home and worship all you want. Worship inside your house if you want to. Not with anybody that's not outside your household, of course. You can't invite anybody to do it with you. But if you and your immediate household members want to, I don't know, say a prayer or sing, whatever you people do, whatever you religious zealots do every weekend, go ahead and do it in your home.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go to church.
What was that thing in the Constitution about reserved to the people, right? Like this lady, this is how you take your communities back. You just...
This is how you go back to normal.
Thank you. You show up at a park.
Public property. Our taxes pay for this.
Yep.
They don't have a say.
Yep. You just take off the ribbon, the tape blocking you out from public spaces, and just live your life, man. If everybody did that in every park and every public building across America, it would be unenforceable. They would treat you the same way they're treating BLM blocking intersections. Safety in numbers, people.
Look how well that worked out for the people who were tearing down statues every day for a while. Very few. There were some, but there were very few arrests. Very few people paid any price for destruction of private property or public property. But I'll bet you they're already looking for her, trying to find her so they can charge her with something.
Sure they are.
It's unreal. It's unbelievable. And also that you can get vaccinated. It's not even your choice anymore. You're being forced into it, really. And here's the 4 options on what vaccine you should take. Remember, there's Pfizer, there's Moderna, there's AstraZeneca, and there is Johnson & Johnson.
Yep.
Which I think is it still on pause, or did they
unpause it? No, they unpaused that.
So here's number 1. You could take the one with $4.7 billion in fines for false claims, drug and medical equipment safety violations, off-label promotion, foreign corrupt practices, and kickbacks and bribery.
Oh, is it Pfizer? Okay.
Yeah, that's the Pfizer one.
Okay.
You could go with alternative number 2. The one that has never brought a vax to market since it began back in 2020, despite 9+ vaccine candidates, none of which even made it through the phase 3 clinical trials.
Who's that?
And that's Moderna.
Okay, all right. So that's we got 2 more options, though, for us.
2 more options. These are great. So don't worry about it. If you want to get vaccinated, maybe you go with number 3, the one that was paused by 24 countries for severe adverse reactions like, I don't know, blood clots. That's AstraZeneca.
I mean, variety in your life.
Wow. And I just found out about a poor kid I think he's 17 years old, plays for the high school basketball team in Utah, Draper, Utah, Salt Lake City area. It's just a suburb of Salt Lake. Goes to Corner Canyon High School. He went and got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. After a couple of days, he developed severe headaches. He had tightness all in his neck. They thought maybe it was a basketball injury or something. Nope. They finally did a scan on his head, and he's got 2 blood clots in his brain.
No.
And one just outside the brain. He's in the hospital fighting for his life right now.
No,
his mom is just heartbroken, and she says, I don't want to mess it with anybody else's choice to get this vaccine, but I'm just telling you, there's some real consequences. But there is one other choice. You can go with the one named in hundreds of thousands of lawsuits, toxic and or dangerous products like baby powder, drugs, shampoo, all kinds of things. That's the Johnson & Johnson version.
Okay.
So it's up to you. I mean, you've got some great choices here, 4 of them.
Sure.
Wow.
We'll tweet this out later.
Get back to us on which one you choose tomorrow here on Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.